Following Jesus isn't always easy, but it's not complicated. This is Simple Faith in 5. Each weekday, we take the teachings of Jesus combined with a spiritual discipline and grow our faith in 5-minute increments. Click subscribe to make sure you don't miss a one. Have you ever wondered what Jesus looked like? How accurate are the pictures that we use? I mean, the Bible never says Jesus was white, 6'3", with blonde hair and chiseled good looks. We do know that he was not indeed white, 6'3", with blonde hair and chiseled good looks. While there is not a single historical reference to the physical appearance of Jesus and nothing in the Bible that describes his looks, we do know that he was a Mediterranean Jew. Therefore, his skin would have the olive darkness to it that you find in the region to this day. This also means he didn't speak English, not even King James English. Sorry, he never uttered the words thee or thou. His native tongue was Aramaic. He would have been schooled as a boy in Hebrew and probably Greek, which was the common language of business and commerce, but when walking down the road with family, Aramaic was the language of choice. And being a Mediterranean Jew also means that he wasn't overly tall, probably under 6 feet. And according to the ancient prophecies surrounding the coming of the Messiah that Christians believe applies to Jesus, he wasn't physically impressive at all. In fact, the prophet Isaiah wrote these words in the Old Testament of the Bible about the coming Messiah. In Isaiah 53, verse 2, he had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him, nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. In other words, he was a man of no reputation. So the idea that Jesus was tall, dark, and handsome is only part of accuracy. It was just the dark part. Recently, I watched an interview with Dr. Jeremiah Johnston, who's an expert on the Shroud of Turin. It was really quite fascinating. I went into the interview skeptical because I'd always heard it was a hoax, only to walk away completely convinced. And based on the Shroud of Turin, we're able to deduce that Jesus was probably 5'7". The most important thing, though, is not what he looked like or how tall he was, but what his followers looked like. Sociologist Rodney Stark said that one of the reasons for the spread of Christianity was the way his followers dealt with sick people. While everybody else ran from the plagues, they ran to these people. They took in kids who were abandoned. They took in mentally and physically challenged children who were left on the city trash heaps. And they cared for those who were sick and those who were abandoned and those who were forgotten. And as a result, they were known for their love. The question for us today and this week is not so much what Jesus looked like or how tall he was, but rather, do you look like Jesus? In other words, do you look like those who love? We're doing a spiritual discipline each week this year, and this week our spiritual discipline is a centering prayer. It can be something like, "Be still and know that I am God. My soul finds rest in God alone. My soul waits in silence for God." But today and this week, we're going with this one. "Jesus, will you make yourself known to me this year?" Well, that's our time for today. Have a great day, and as always, keep it simple.